you've kind of like naturally talked about this throughout the interview, but some people asked about it specifically. As an independent in the Midwest, what has been your experience participating with the two major parties? And I'm going to add a second part to this because this is something somebody else mentioned. Would you consider supporting the Green Party nominee? And this is my addition to that question. Why did you not consider Green entering yourself?
Why didn't I go to the Green Party and try to accept or seek their nomination?
Sure.
They're a little bit too far left for me. Now, I don't mean that as a bad way, but I just don't see I try to stay towards the center. I try to stay neutral. So I mean, the Green Party to me was never an option, but I do like Jennifer Curlin. She has a very sound and well-rounded platform. I have friends that have come from, well, let me give you an example. Marcia Schleiger. She is an independent running for U.S. Senate here, okay, which is Debbie Stabenow's position, who's a 18-year incumbent. She used to be Green Party. She moved away from the Green Party because the Green Party actually has some fracturedness to it as well. They're just too far left for me.
Well, give some specific policy examples, and that's fine. I mean, you're on a lefty show, but that's fine. We don't have to be 100% on everything. But what are some specific policies that you're like, that's to, you know, just to...
There's too many entitlement programs that, see, my job as governor would be to get as many people to work as I can. That's why jobs are such an important issue to me. We have a welfare system here in Michigan, and I can only speak for Michigan, that we have entire generations who have never worked. So with part of my welfare reform is I want to turn some of these social workers into job seekers for the people of Michigan.
But most people on welfare are working.
Yes. So not most here in Michigan, no. You're talking only about a third of the people here in Michigan who are on welfare that are working.
Well, I can't speak for Michigan specifically, but overall, most people on welfare are working. And if that's not the case in Michigan, I would argue it's because of a lack of jobs.
Well, there's a lot of jobs here, and they're not all great paying jobs, but I would rather have people who, like you said, I would rather have people who are on welfare working something. But we also have to get child care up and running heavier here in Michigan, so that parents who have children that need to work have a place for the kids to be safe. So
now somebody would say to you that that's an entitlement program. So how do you respond to that?
It's something that has to be done. We have a, no matter how we look at it, we have a high rate of divorce throughout the nation as well. And that's leaving single parents out there. And a lot of their excuses are they can't work because they have nowhere for their kids to child care services. You know, I would like to have businesses that can incorporate some form of child care for their employees at some point. Now, I know what that's
you're sounding like a lefty, Todd. You're sounding like a lefty, Todd.
No. This is all.
Todd, it's like I took a cup of Kool-Aid, I put it over here, and you chugged it. I didn't even tell you to. You did it yourself.
I have my Kool-Aid right here. Okay. So,
yeah, it's Fago, like a true Michigander.
Hey, I applaud you. I drank the bottle of water. The only thing left next to me was this bottle of Red Pop that I'm sorry. Red Pop Fago is my favorite. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude,
no, I'm not sorry. This is me.
You are going to go listen to ICP as soon as we're done here, and I applaud you for it.
No,
and then you and Eminem are having lunch later.
Ron, I try to stay neutral. You know, we have too many of our politicians now, and like I said, I'm not currently a real politician.
You are running for governor, so sir, you are anything but neutral.
Oh no, I am neutral. I make it a habit of paying attention to both sides. You know, I went to a Democratic forum, and I actually got kicked out of there. So before it even
somebody that's being neutral wouldn't get kicked out of there.
No, I didn't even say nothing.
You're being a...
I walked in, I signed in, And I sat down in the back row, and I had a little silver-haired old lady walk up to me. She says, "Mr. Schleiger, I know who you are, and I don't think we need a spy in here." I said, "Wait a minute. I'm not a spy. I'm here to listen." "Well, I think you should leave." And people on my committee could tell you that it was just, I could have stood up and raised a cane over it, but I didn't. I just said, "That's fine. All right, I'll leave." And I've had other instances where I've gone to other forums for Republicans and Democrats alike. You know, they don't want me in there, and I don't know why. And the only reason I know they're starting to know who I am is all over an article in our Detroit Free Press that had a big old picture of me in there, and now people know who I am. So, hey, you know, I've been getting around Michigan. I'm out here. I don't believe us politicians need to interject our personal beliefs. You know, and that's the problem. We have our current politicians that think just because their beliefs are their beliefs, they think that's what everybody else in the state should adhere to, and I don't believe in that.
So, all right. So, what entitlements need to so you're saying that you would want to have more involvement getting people on welfare back to work?
That's a plus, yes.
Okay. So other than that, what other entitlements do you not favor? Because, I mean, you know, you said you're for single payer. You said you're for living wages. You're for childcare. Some people would call, I don't call those entitlements. I think that's a necessary social safety net that countries rich as ours should have. I don't call those entitlements. But when you use that type of verbiage, other people would call it that. But you're for all those things.
For most of them, yes. But one of the biggest entitlement issues that I have, and from people that I've spoke to, is when we have, I'm all for legal immigration. Okay, this is another hot button topic, but I'm for actual legal immigration. We have an issue that people of Michigan have been actually complaining about to me, how an illegal, which we have quite a few illegal immigrants here in Michigan. Some people may argue that, but the facts are the facts. They can come to Michigan and they are granted welfare funding, in other words, food stamps, cash assistance, right off the bat, where we have actual residents of Michigan that are denied because they make too much money, so to speak. And then we have some that are barely survive, barely above the poverty level in making money, but yet they're turned away from our food stamps and cash assistance. They're angry here about the illegals that are currently coming in, and they're receiving these benefits right away. Medicaid, you know, so that stuff has to stop as well.
All right. I mean, you know, and I don't have specific statistics on Michigan right in front of me, but I know that all the issues facing the state, that should be pretty, there's a lot of more pressing things. Would you agree with that?
There are.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.